You're listening to the Precision Shooting Podcast, discussing all aspects of precision and long-range rifle shooting. This episode is brought to you by Impact Dynamics. And now, over to your hosts.
Well, hello and welcome to the Precision Shooting Podcast. This is number 164.
7?
5,
I'm
4.
lost.
You need to learn to count.
Mate, it's been a week.
He's got a lot of things to learn. Actually, I think we all do. My name's Rusty. That is Andy. Andy, how are you?
I'm good.
It has only been a week. We sort
Yes.
of doubled these back up to get back on schedule.
On track, yep.
So we haven't got a lot to talk about because nothing's happened.
Nah, that's a wrap.
All right. See you later.
Cool. End the podcast.
That's why we're... No, okay. All right.
That was the intro.
That would have been
Okay.
much funnier if Josh pressed the button and...
Yeah, that's it.
It's a reach. So, come on.
Right, good. Josh is here as well. Hello, Josh.
I am here.
You've got a camera on you as well.
I do.
Now, last week, I noticed that you were only on you're not on camera yet. Oh, there you are. You were only on camera for a very short period of time, and then you weren't. And so obviously very shy, sort of first time
Yeah.
doing it. He was a little bit emotional about it, I suspect.
Yep.
But then we found out tonight that allegedly the camera overheated.
Yep.
Yeah, righto.
Overheated in a air-conditioned room
Yep.
where all the other cameras seem to be fine. But the one point at him overheated. So...
Yes.
Yeah. So, Andy, every now and then tonight, we will be checking back in to
Yep.
make sure his face is still visible from time to time because we
Yep.
did sort of turf him after about 3 minutes last time. So,
Yep.
Josh, keep your happy face on
Just the whole time.
the whole
it.
time. Every time we look over, you better be making that face
Yeah.
right there.
Big grinner.
Otherwise, we'll... Anyway, this is perfect for audio podcast. Good.
Yeah.
Letting you guys know that Josh is grinning immensely. Yeah.
And if you're watching this in audio version, then
If you're watching
should-
this in audio version,
If you're watching this in audio version, bravo. I want to know how you did
I am-
that.
yeah.
I'm
thoroughly
I'm
impressed.
thoroughly
Me
impressed
too.
too. Yes.
Very good.
Oh, dear.
Speaking of watching things in audio version, how's your week been, Andy?
audio?
Mate, sounds great.
What sort of transition
Come
was
on.
that? Yes.
Yes, that's good. Come on, go
No,
on.
it's been all right. Yeah, ticking
Excellent.
along.
Good. I'm glad.
Oh, to be honest, not a whole lot of shooting stuff has happened this week, but
No,
I've bought some things.
you have. Have you recovered from running the match yet? Are you?
I
sort of-
reckon I have.
Yeah?
And we ran over some numbers from the match and did really well. The club. The clap.
You got the clap? What?
Oh, we don't talk about that.
That was a big Sunday night. Then. I, didn't-
Yeah.
I missed that part. I left early. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, real shame too.
You're a sharing kind of guy.
it.
Okay. So
But yeah,
it was
went
good
really
for the
well.
club.
Yep.
Yeah.
Club enjoyed it. Went well. I think a lot of people enjoyed it.
Fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah, nice. The other thing I was continuing on from there. You had a great recovery and it went well and all that sort of stuff, which was good. Josh, and have you thought about your performance from the match?
I've tried not to think
You've
about
tried
it.
to forget that one.
Just to mentally forget. What weekend?
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you come away with much of a list of things to work on?
I came away with I
Oh.
should probably pay attention to shooting more than filming,
Filming.
if I'm going to shoot. But then where's the fun in that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
that's
boring.
it. No.
Sounds like a horrible plan. Very good. So tell me, Andy, you bought some stuff and we
Yes.
an order came through for you, and we packed some stuff, and you decided you were so short of content, you were going to open it up on the podcast. So, here
So
here
short of
we
content.
are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah, that was 5 minutes of planning.
Well done. Tell it. I don't even remember. I'm not sure I know what's in this box. What is
well,
in the box, Joe?
Would you like to take a guess?
I got an idea.
You got an
In
idea.
fact, I just saw part of it, so I know.
Saw
I
part
think I know now. I think I know all of the things. But you could reveal them to our audience
All right.
rather than me sort of peering over and instantly seeing what they all are.
All right.
So check them out.
Just so you know, it's this camera over here.
That
Just-
one.
Just
No,
so you're
you
aware.
can, you can
That one.
All over it. No, it's the one over here.
You can point it to the camera so that those who are listening visually are able to
Able to see with their ears what you're holding up.
exactly right. That's it. That's it. Because we're good at what we do.
Alrighty then. Well, first up, can you hear this?
Shake it. Give it a shake. Any guesses as to what it is for those who are listening? No,
That'd be a hard one to tell.
that would be.
wouldn't
I mean, most of this stuff is very. It's not like it's a bloody maraca or something.
it? Yeah, that's it. Well, it's a switch view lever for a vortex scope. Essentially goes onto your
Yep.
your
Talk about
zoom.
what it does. Yeah.
And just I've found that they help heaps. Like when you're trying to zoom in or zoom out quickly.
Yep.
Like you're not fumbling to try and get a good grip on the on the ring, and you can just throw your hand up and hit it and move it where you need to.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Nice.
This is my second one because I had
Second one.
Had one on the other scope.
Yep.
On the other Vortex, and I was like, oh, damn, this is good. I need another one.
He's getting addicted.
Can't be bothered like changing it over.
Yeah,
So,
right. Okay. I'm just downstairs at the moment. I've got the scope and mount ready to go, and I'm going to mount that one that I talked about last week, which is a Burris XTR3, and I have the Burris version of that. To go on there.
Yep, they come with it, don't they?
They don't.
Oh, they don't.
So
My bad.
they're an extra item, but they're a flatter. They're a much like wider, flatter grip on it.
Yeah, okay.
Which I quite like that one.
Yeah.
That's probably
And
my favorite.
They screw into the ring. There's
No,
already,
they don't. No, they work much the same
Man,
way.
I
where-
know my stuff, eh? I am really
No,
good.
I appreciate the leading questions that allow me to answer. Yeah, well done. Yeah,
I am up to it.
Good thing we're following that script, right?
I perform.
You do. Can't deny that. And no, they just clamp around it.
They clamp around it, yep.
around it because it's fairly those scopes are pretty narrow. But you're right. There are some that they screw in,
Yep.
and they've got like a little hole for that. And then there's some. I was looking at a Cytron last week, and they've got one that sort of lays flat,
Yeah,
and then you
okay.
can just sort of flip it up.
Oh, right.
If you want to, run it
Yep.
there, and then push it back down, and just it's out the way if you don't want it there, and it's present if you do.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Mm.
Yeah, that actually, like, in saying that, the ones that do or like are removable easily, like these clamp around ring ones, are probably good if you want to go hunting and you don't want to have like a thing sticking you in the back.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but are you ever going to remove that once you put it on?
Probably not.
Yeah, no.
No. I say things that I don't mean. The other thing that's probably good about this is like, have you come across scopes that have them inbuilt already or already installed, and your bolt hand sort of hits them or they get too close to the bolt? Have you seen?
You raise a good point. I can't think of a particular example, but you're right. Some of the ones that are permanently mounted just get mounted in the wrong spot.
Yep.
And really should be like the joy of one that you mount yourself. You can tweak it to where it rotates between. Yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
Anyway, so I got one of them.
Good.
We'll put up a photo or something. Josh, on it. All right.
Yeah, we just throw that across the room and he can do it. Andy, you can pick it up next week.
Yeah, I'm going to need that back, eh?
No, it's gone. I need at least 2 weeks to film this.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
then you get it back.
All right,
Good.
no worries. This is my other one. Can you hear this one?
All that means is well packed because it doesn't
That's
shake.
it.
That's all it is. Yeah.
Just a Vortex Defender flip cap. So
flip cap.
this is for my little 22. I just had one of the Vortex neoprene sort of.
Oh yeah, covers. No,
Covers?
flip caps are great. They're there when you need them. Although,
Yep.
how many times have you gone and started a stage and your flip caps are down?
I used to. Definitely not too much these days.
Okay, have you got that? It's raised a good point. Have you got like a pre-shot routine where you go through and make sure they're good? And
Yeah, I sort of do. I've got it to the point where like I never had
look at us, you like utilizing that as a segue to actually a useful conversation.
Yeah. And we now drink.
Right, we're done.
Next podcast.
Press the button, Josh.
So I do have sort of a quick mental checklist. I've never had anything written down, but it's sort of when I'm standing there with my rifle and there's been a photo of there gazing off into the distance. And what am I thinking?
Oh, here's the reveal of the post we put up and asked for captions of you looking very. I knew there were some great responses.
There were some good ones.
It was.
Josh, have you got them?
If I was
hand?
useful at my job, I would have some in front of me.
You could probably bring them up in a
I can
moment.
get some.
Anyway, back
You
to
keep talking, and I'll do that.
Yeah, there was a
Yep.
wonderful photo of you just gazing off into the distance, looking quite dissatisfied, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it was the Monado wind switching up. So, going, oh, damn it.
Here we go again. Yeah, okay.
But yes.
Anyway, what was actually running through your mind? Unless Josh has responses prepared.
Yeah, I reckon those responses are pretty nailed it. Like they're pretty spot on.
Pretty much exactly what you were thinking.
I've got the Instagram one ready.
Yeah.
And it is from Fly with Jazza, and he said, "Is it too late to urinate?" Surely, when you're at that point on the stage, you just do it anyway.
Just
deal with
go
the
and
consequences
That's it.
later.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's it.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, a wet stage is better than no stage,
True.
which is a super common saying.
Yeah.
Here as well. hear that
I've heard
all the
every
time.
match,
All
every
the
single
time.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, everyone says it. Everyone says it. Yeah, it's a little bit regional, perhaps a little
That's
bit
it.
regional, but
Yep.
yeah, sure.
So anyway, back to some useful content. So my mental, like my
Have to
little,
tune out to tune in someone else.
that's it. We'll just edit all that out later.
No, we won't.
Fix it in post.
Can't fix that.
So I guess I've got, when I'm standing there, I'll be looking down range, look at the wind. This is typically like while the shooter before me is shooting.
Yes.
Sort of look at the wind and walk through, as they're shooting it, walk through the stage.
Okay, so you're observing them and sort of mentally, you're basically like deep faking them by putting your face on your head on them and imagining yourself go through it.
Well, it depends how they shoot.
Yeah, I was going to say, so if I shoot before you, probably not. You're like taking lessons of like what not to do.
What not to do, yeah.
Yeah, that's
it.
right. Okay, good.
No, but it's that sort of like you run, as they're running through it, you run through the stage and you go, okay, it was this position, 2 shots, this target, this position, 3 shots, this target. Or, just to sort of clarify in your own head.
Do you do anything different if you're the first shooter on that stage?
Yeah, I freak out. I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, that's the worst.
That is an appropriate response. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, typically if I'm up first, and the RO or the stage officer says, shooter, understand course of fire, I'll be like, nah, let's talk it through.
Okay, so you do that. You actually
Yeah.
will sort of take that moment just to run through it with the RO to make sure you're understanding. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
Like, that's fair if you're the first one shooting it to just make sure, because you don't want to mistake from misunderstanding. Perhaps maybe the stage brief was iffy or something. I mean, you should probably be asking questions straight up for that, but it's probably an appropriate time.
Well, I guess
fair
for me, that again, it's the same as watching someone shoot it. You're running it through in your head.
Yep.
And if you're first up, then you run it through with the
RO.
stage of,
Yeah, okay. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I do that. And then pretty well, while we're standing there and he's asking me if I'm ready, so I've already been looking at the wind at the
So you're
beforehand.
making some decisions about that.
Yep.
Sure.
So I'll pretty much go from top to tail. So I'll go bipod extended or bipod folded, whatever.
Yep.
Come down, gamer plate on or off. Is it in the right spot? Is it tight? Yep. Flip cap, front flip cap, up. Yep. Windage dialed for the first target or not dialed.
Yep.
Yep. Back down. Well, parallax.
Elevation.
Yeah. Oh, windage, elevation. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Windage. Why did I say windage? I don't dial for wind. Come on.
I'm not sure. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it'll
Elevation.
elevation, parallax, the sort of the zoom that I'm thinking I should be in, and then rear flip cap.
Yep.
And I'm like,
Have you
magazine in.
Oh, yeah.
That one.
So this is where it might be helpful to write that down. But anyway,
Yeah.
do you have any rule of thumb for magnification at all?
Sort of. It's
Sort of.
I know that with our range, we go to 500 meters, and I'm very rarely above 15 power.
Okay.
So if the target's 500 meters, I'll just start on 15.
Yep.
Very rarely do I go above that.
Yep.
And if it's transitioning between targets at different ranges, I want less zoom, so you get a bigger field of view. You can find your targets easier.
So you will, depending on the stage you're about to shoot, you will tweak your zoom.
Yep.
On a consistent basis, like as in every stage, you're like, right, I'm making a decision on magnification for this stage, as opposed to like just rocking up to the match, sticking it on 12, and you're done.
Every stage.
Every
different.
stage.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Especially if it's, if you've got one target at 500 meters, that's definitely going to be a different zoom rate to zoom setting.
Let's go back to zoom rate. That was good.
Zoom rate. Yeah. Well, that's what the lever's for. That's your
Yeah, that's true. Lever in this country.
lever. Yep.
Doing well.
Doing well. I know stuff.
Yeah,
Here
I
to
can
perform.
tell. Yeah. Visually, this sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Looks great. He's great.
Carry on.
Anyway.
Carry on with your lever.
So,
Sorry, I
if
did interrupt your process about asking you about your magnification. Okay.
yeah, that's all right. So, yeah, if something's at 500 meters, I'll start at 15 if that's the only target. If there's one closer in, say at 250,
200,
we'll crank that down to maybe 10, maybe 8.
Yeah, right.
Especially if it's hard to find. If it's, say, on one of our big berms, like the big mounds that we've got,
You can locate it
I
easily.
can locate it easy. If it's a floater, I'll definitely have my zoom down. And then if I find it and I need to zoom in, then I'll do that.
Just to clarify for those who are listening, a floating target, as opposed to just new terminology I've not heard.
It's not on a balloon.
is on our range we can have intermediate targets. We can have targets at sort of any distance within the template of the range, but they sit up about 2 meters high, and so it can be quite tricky to locate those quickly.
Yep.
Yeah. So the berm's obviously easy to find. So it makes a lot of sense what you're talking about. But they sort of seem to float up in the air.
Yeah, that's it.
Hence the way you called them a floating target.
Floating target. Yeah. And sometimes after they've been shot a few times, they
get harder to see.
Tricky to see.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So. Yeah.
Nice.
So
anything
I'll
else in that pre-shot routine? So you check your magnification, you check your magazine, and then you're good to go.
Pretty well. Yeah. Your equipment, your scope caps, elevation, zoom, and you work your eyepiece
from the top down. Yeah,
sort of eyepiece down. Top down.
Josh, have you done anything on this side of stuff? Like when you get ready to shoot, obviously you're pretty fresh to it. Have you sort of thought through any sort of checklist, or do you get caught on stuff?
When I have, I guess, a moment of putting down the camera before I shoot, I sometimes will have that kind of like, all right, let's do a quick little rundown of things and go, all right, I am 40% ready. It's about it. But yes, there is sometimes generally that. I think the best match that I've had in terms of that is the Rimfire Reckoning.
It's
the one we had a few times. Is because
I had to film much.
And the times I did film was just like, I'll just chuck a 360 camera over here.
I like the 360 cameras. They're the best.
I want one of them.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing.
It's good. It's OnlyFans special, is it?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Gets that extra content.
All the angles. Cool. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Sweet.
That's it.
So that's yes, I also do a pre-shot routine again. I'm much from the front of the gun down to the base of the gun, and how successful, like the times I've done the best with doing that is when I write that on my arm board. Like I'll have data on the gun, mounted to the gun for shooting, but then I'll have the arm board there and I'll have it in a list of like do this, this. And I find if you have it written down, I guess as long as you check it, you don't forget any steps. Whereas if I try and remember it, there's enough processes in there and I don't do it regularly enough, I'm not disciplined enough with it, that I certainly miss some pieces. So
something that I almost got caught. Well, no, I probably have been caught out before as well. Is not topping up my mags. So you finish a stage. Put your mags in your holsters or in your pockets, whatever, and then you're off chatting and you're off prepping up for the next stage, and you forget to top them up.
See, this is one I've not run into because in recent times, I don't think I've shot a match for a long time where I'm the only one using my gun. So generally, Josh and I are sharing a gun. Or we've got three of us because we might have a new shoot as well, like the last match, but that's not uncommon for two or three of us sharing one gun. And so you almost prioritizing across everything is you've got a we run like 5 magazines across the three of us, and so that like there's probably 2 magazines that never get drained, never get touched.
They don't even get touched. They just get filled and put aside.
That's it. But you've got like a bit of a duty to your other people sharing the gun that you got to make sure those mags are always topped up.
Yeah, that's it.
Because you would feel horrible to have given them a mag. And,
here's a mag with 2 rounds in it.
That's right. So I actually think that's probably one point, Josh, that we've probably not run into.
I don't think I've ever picked up a magazine that hasn't been full at a stage. So that's a little, but that's probably only because I reckon if I shot a match and didn't, actually maybe I'm disciplined enough that I'll come off the line and that's the first thing I do is top up the magazines because someone else is about to use them. So perhaps that discipline will carry over or that habit.
Yeah, I found, I think it was shooting a rimfire match that I didn't do it because normally with a centerfire, I'll pick up all my brass, I'll go back, put my brass away, and while I'm there, I'll just top up the mags. But with the rimfire, you're not collecting the brass, you just stash the mags away.
Oh, and then it'll bug you.
Damn it.
Yeah, okay. Cool. All right, sweet, mate.
And what else?
Well,
we were talking about setting zoom to a certain range. What do you do with parallax if you've got targets at different ranges? You adjust on the fly, or do you sort of just set it?
That will depend immensely on the size of the target.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, and I'm not entirely sure this is right, but what I would generally do often if it's time, I will probably set it for like a 200, 300 sort of thing, and then run from there if the targets are a bit more generous, particularly if it's positional, particularly if that's my focus of like I'm gonna miss this shot because I can't build that position very well. This is unstable, and usually the targets are big enough that it doesn't really play a big factor. If I'm shooting like prone and they're pretty challenging tight targets, I'll take some time on parallax and adjust that accordingly. I think that's probably it. It's not super common that I have to worry about it. And I don't think I miss much because I've got plenty of other excuses. I can't use that one.
Fair enough. Yeah. I typically try and set it at the furthest target.
Okay.
Because I feel like, I don't know if I'm right in this, but say if you've got one at 250 and one at 500, if I'm setting my parallax to the 500, then at that distance, my margin of error is bigger, possibly.
So here's an experiment for you to run.
Yeah.
Right? If you go to the range and adjust your parallax for 50 meters or something, and then see how much you have to adjust, like how far out, and then how much you have to adjust to get on at 200. Right? And then do that again for 200 to 300, 200 to 345, or even go from 200 to 500. And the amount of adjustment you have to make to go from 100 to 200 is significantly more, like physically more than probably 200 to 400.
Yeah, true.
Actually, we'll see that diminishes the further out you go. That the biggest issue, because I guess there's reasons behind it, and I'm not a fay enough with the language to portray that correctly. But it makes less of a difference at distance than it does closer in. You'll see it play out more.
That's why I miss all the close ones.
That's the only reason.
That's it.
That you miss the close ones.
The only reason.
Yeah, but that's an experiment to do, to see how much it affects, rather than me saying, "Hey, it doesn't." Because go and actually do it and see it, and you go, "Okay, this has this much impact on it."
I guess it does make sense, because when you look at a parallax ring, your closest settings are further apart, like on the ring.
And that's why you can have an infinity symbol.
Yeah,
because everything from there out should be pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yep,
spot
on.
Right.
Very good, mate. Well, that's come out of a Defender cap.
Yep.
So there you go. We've been able to draw some information out of one little cap. There.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They do quite a lot. So
I was at Vortex in Wisconsin in 2017. We were there, and we were chatting with a listener actually who hit us up, and he came down to Vortex and sort of hung out for a little while. He was local, and he was telling us how good the Defender caps were. And he was like, many of the other brands, or the cheaper brands, just, when you flip them over, you push them a bit too far and they crack. Right? And he's grabbed it and he's like, these ones, you can even twist them and they crack. And he snapped it. He was like going hammer and tong on it. And he snapped it and he's like, oh, dang. And the Vortex guy's like, we got you covered, man. Like you're in the right place to do that.
Yep.
Yeah. It was, but it's just, I like, yeah, he was ripping on it a lot, but they're certainly a beefed up version for sure.
Oh yeah, I think they're flexible in the right places. If that makes sense, like in some of the hinge points and things like that.
I've got the opposite problem personally. Next item you've got.
Next item. Well, this is the last item.
Oh, the last item. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We've got. Is that in the shop?
There's probably just yeet it.
I was about to say yeet.
Oh, I need those receipts.
Yeet and delete.
I got a Lee Universal decapping die.
That was dramatic.
We're done.
It's over there somewhere.
I think so.
You didn't need a receipt, did you?
Nah.
It's on fire now.
Wait, you think I can claim this on tax or something? Jeez.
Universal decapping die.
Universal decapping die. Oh, look at that shiny little. Ooh, gnarly.
It is gnarly. There you go, Universal decapping die. Tell us why you got a Universal decapping die and what they do, and then I had a story about cleaning brass. There, we'll get into that.
And while you do it, maybe hold it up so the people that are listening can see it.
Yeah. Let me know if you can hear it.
Hang on, put it in the cover, and then we might get some Yeah, that's no wait, you've ruined it already.
Ruined it. Oh wait, you got to say, can you hear this?
Can you hear this?
Or can you see? Can you see? And then
I like the actions you're making are great. Yeah. Right. Now I'm really super self-conscious. Right. I mean, can you guess what it is? Anyone? Guesses?
Anyone?
Anyone? All right, there you go. You
right.
think that? No, tell us what it does.
Guessing games don't really work when you say what it is first.
Just
for
with all your great
references,
information, just sit back on your couch and overheat your camera, right?
What is it, mate?
Yeah, I will.
What is it?
A Lee thingy.
Right. Well, there you go. So it's a Lee Universal Decapping Die.
Yeah, it's a good way to take your cap off.
Didn't work. Got a headset on.
Let me go this, and I'll see if I can get. I'll see if I can get your cap off.
What? Jeez.
It's broken. Oh wait, you've got.
Let me try. All right. So pretty well. I guess we'll put it that way. No, that's not going to stand up. That's not going to stand. Oh dear.
If you hit it hard enough, it'll go into the desk. Oh, look at that! You've balanced it in a beer bottle.
All right.
It's good.
So this is how I hold it in the press. This is how I reload. No.
This is how I reload with the beer bottle.
Yeah, pretty well. I just use this to punch out all of my primers.
It took us a long time to get to how it's used.
I know, right? Happens every time.
Good.
So
punches out the primers. Yeah.
Punches out all the primers. So then I can continue to cleaning.
How do you clean your brass? What do you use?
Stainless steel media tumbler.
Hey, I'm the same. Have you got a recipe for what you do with it in terms of?
I do not.
You do not?
No, I just use the Hornady case cleaning solution.
Ah, that's right. I think we have mentioned that.
Mentioned it.
Well, I was determined. Oh, look out! There's paper flying around everywhere.
There's a storm in Adelaide at the moment.
There is. I was determined to find experiment with a recipe.
Yeah, you were going to play with a couple of things.
I was. So I got some, apparently, so there's some detergents that are good and some that are not great. And I got Fairy Lemon, and apparently that's a good one. Yeah. So I found that at Woolies. And then I also got a little thing of citric acid, little powdered citric acid, apparently, because one of the big products that's used in the US is the Lemmy Shine. I might have that wrong, and it's very expensive to get here.
Yeah, okay.
And so we're trying to find equivalent sort of setup. So I ran these two. Now, I did not follow any rules on how much to put in.
Yep.
But I videoed myself putting it in so I could have a reference of how much I put in.
1 and 2.
One for you, one for me. Yeah, yep. And the citric acid was quite challenging, but I did the one for me.
Yep.
And so I put it in, and I filled it up with water and did all the things, and that brass came out amazing. In fact,
it
to
came
the
out
point
very schmick.
Where Josh put a video up of me running it through the separator. So you separate out the thing. And someone accused us of getting brand new brass off the shelf and just doing that for the video to show how good it was. I'm like, I didn't even think of that. But that, like, it was really good. So I'm going to go back and look at how much of that. But it was like a little bit of citric acid and then a few squirts of the Fairy. That doesn't sound right. A few squirts of the Fairy. And water, and put it in stainless steel tumbler. I ran it for an hour.
Yep.
And it came out fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was great. So I'm gonna work out how much it actually was and do it again and see if we can go. But yeah, the brass looks brilliant. Then I use a dehydrator that I got off Audi or Amazon or something like that, and put it in there. I ran this one. I previously run it pretty warm. This one I ran pretty low, because it's sitting here at work, so I got a bit of time. I just press the button and run it on 40-ish degrees and just let it go for a while. And that brass came out really good. Often I find like there's a little residue or something on the brass when I've done it previously, and I don't know whether it was because I ran it lower and slower or because I've used the particular mix of detergent. It came up really well.
Do you rinse your brass after it, or you're pretty much out of the tumbler, then tumble it to get rid of the pins, and that's it?
So put it on the tumbler, run it for an hour, put it into the media separator, separate all the stainless steel out from the brass, and then I did rinse the brass after that, and then I put it into the dehydrator.
Yeah, okay. Did you get any what are they called? like dry spots, like water spots on the brass?
No.
Okay.
This brass was amazing, and I think
very good.
I don't know that if that was. This is some more experimentation. Like I haven't mastered the solution by any stretch, but what I'm intending to do is that I will film each one and how they came out, and then sort of record what it was, and so be able to show, hey, this one worked really well for me. And so I think previously I've had that, definitely had those spots. I suspect, or at least my hypothesis at present, is that because I went lower and slower on the heat to dry it, it didn't like come off quickly and leave a spot or residue or something on those lines. So I don't know if that's my hypothesis.
Coming off, okay.
It could be completely wrong, which is fine. That's the idea. That's the point. But I'm gonna try that next time. Maybe I'll do an A/B split. So I'll put in half of it and do it at one heat and one speed, and the other half do it differently, and then see what happens.
I've got a little dehydrator as well. And it's pretty much like a glorified hairdryer. But pretty much that gets pretty toasty. That gets hot.
Okay.
To the point where, you can't hold the brass for too long.
Yep.
And I've found that I used to get a lot of watermarks and water spots, and then I'd rinse my brass in hot water.
In hot water, okay.
In hot water, and then give it a good shake, and then I found that water would evaporate quicker and I wouldn't get the watermarks.
Interesting. Okay.
But I've also heard people using demineralized
water.
That helps. A couple of other bits.
Okay. Yeah, so certainly too many variations in my process at this stage to be able to be like, oh, that's why.
Oh, for sure.
But it's certainly something I noticed compared to previous attempts. So I will. What I'd like to do is be able to sort of break that down bit by bit. So probably the next time I go for a big shoot and have a couple hundred rounds, I will probably like do batches of maybe 20 different variations and see what we can find out. See if we can learn some stuff.
Well, I've got a heap of old 6.5 brass kicking around.
Okay. There you go. That you want cleaned.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I'm also putting it down. No, bring it in. We could use that as example brass to measure it out and see what's going on.
See what's happening.
There you go. There's some useful.
We can compare tumblers and brass and we could have media things as well.
We could have a race. I mean, that's not very useful for actually finding out facts and information, but could be fun.
How long does cleaning brass actually take?
Yeah.
Because I've heard of people putting it in like those tumblers for hours.
Yeah.
And your old corncob ones.
Corncob ones certainly
left overnight and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I've never put mine in the corncob and left it overnight. I've only been like maybe 3, maybe 4 hours.
I will never do that again because I remember I had a corncob media, a tumbler, and now granted I'm pretty sure it was secondhand. I was given it. But there was 4 bolts that were holding the tub to the motor bit, whatever it was. And over the course of either a night or a day, we left it on for an extended period of time in the shed. One of those bolts had come loose, and the bolts were from the bottom, and the nut was on the inside, and it dropped, and he must have fallen into somewhere that stopped the motor from turning.
Yeah, right.
So it just sat there like Josh's camera overheating.
Yep.
And I opened it up. I heard a weird noise. And I opened it up, and this thing was wasn't quite smoking, but it was super hot.
Yeah.
And for like a plastic machine, it's like,
that's not ideal.
I'm like, that would have been a fire if we let that keep going.
That motor should have had some overload protection on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Is your camera still working, Josh?
Yeah.
It is.
Has that got overload protection? Oh, wait, it just turns off. Right.
It does.
Yes.
It does. Maybe like heats. I wonder if it was like peak good looking. Like he got as good looking as he's going to get, and then it just turned off, gave up. It's like this is as good as it gets.
That didn't happen when I gave you blue steel. So
it's because there's more potential with you, Andy. There's more potential.
I see.
I hit my limit. I'm done. That was it. Peaked out.
I see what's going on here.
Yeah. Just talking you up, mate. Just talking you up.
Well, cool. I'll take it.
Yeah, I figured you would. Nice. Well, you ran through all your bits. You didn't actually get that many things.
No. I've held out on a couple of other bits because I hear there's some goodies coming. So,
okay. What are you eyeing off?
I need a new cleaning rod because I cut my other one up.
Yes, you did cut your other one up.
Yeah, just sick of it. I was like, I need something to clean my handgun with. So,
how is your handgun journey going?
My handgun journey it's ticking along.
Okay.
It's ticking along. Nothing crazy. Just having a bit of fun. Yep. So still just got the 1.9 mil.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get new mags for it because it's getting feeding issues. It's getting jams. It's spitting out live rounds. As in, like, it will chamber one. But before it's chambered that one, it's spat out a live one out the top. And then before I know
overly useful.
I've gone through 3 shots, or like 4 or 5 shots, and I've got an empty mag, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like, so
I'm not an expert, but even I know that's not good.
Nah, it's quality.
Quality is.
So some new mags are definitely required.
Yep.
I did test someone else's, and it ran flawlessly.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, that's definitely the issue then.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So and it was good because, it was the sort of thing I was getting frustrated with. I didn't shoot it very much, and then I used the other mags, and I was like, this is sick now. Now I can go through a full mag and not have any jams or issues.
Yep.
And there goes $80 so of ammo. So
okay.
But,
right.
Yeah. So that's it. Just ticking along, having a bit of fun, and yeah.
Yep. Joanne, we actually I don't know if we talked about your match the other week had a handgun stage or a handgun involved in the stage.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think did we talk about that, Josh?
I don't think we did.
No,
I don't think so.
It was a from memory, we had to shoot the handgun one shot, and then obviously the rack would stay open, the slide would stay open, and put the gun down. The RO would grab that and deal with that, and then you would shoot off a bag on a tripod for 4 shots.
3 or 4 shots.
3 or 4 shots. Yeah. And then you go back to the gun, which would have been reloaded for you, close the slide, and then shoot again. The slide would stay open and put that down, and then you had to take the bag off and use the bag on a...
It's like a post. It was just like a post at the front.
Yeah. Like a piece of timber between 2 benches, and you would then shoot. I think the same.
Yeah, I think the targets were like far to near, and then when you came back, it was
other way around.
Near to far, and then you come back, and then it was far to near.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
the one.
That sounds,
you had the option of tripod rear.
That's right.
If
you could use that. So, what? Any particular reason you put the handgun into the stage?
I think for a bit of variety.
Yep. Because the handgun wasn't scored. You could hit or miss. It didn't matter anything as long as you shot safely.
Yep.
And you had an attempt at the target. You couldn't just send it.
Yeah.
You had to attempt the target.
Yep.
I
think it was just for something a bit different, like being the level of match it was with a lot of new people and stuff. It was just something a bit different to throw in there. They could go back and be like, oh, got to shoot a handgun in the match. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah, sure.
A bit different.
Well, that was my first time shooting a handgun.
Well, there you go.
I hadn't shot one before.
Yeah.
Cool.
How'd you find it?
Yeah, I didn't really pay attention because it was just kind of like, quick, point at the thing and then go for the real points.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That is
fair enough.
But good fun to have done.
Yeah, still good to be able to say, hey, I got to shoot a pistol in the match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. It is we did a very similar stage at the first PRS back in 2017 where you would shoot. Now I think it was again sketchy on details. It was a long time ago now. We've had 2 years of COVID to deal with. You would shoot the handgun for 1 shot and then move across to the rifle. And I think you shot 1 shot, but maybe there was 2 shots or something. And then you go back to the handgun. So there was a lot more back and forth on those in the early days. And again, pistol was not worth the point, and rifle was. And I think that's a sensible way. You're effectively using the pistol as a distraction to some point, and also for the level of match that was as an enjoyment. It's just fun, something different, something unique. Yeah. And I saw in my squad there was one of the quite an accomplished younger guy, but quite an accomplished IPSC shooter. And he was talking before. He's like, man, this is like the one stage I can't afford to like miss the pistol shots. I mean, like that's what I do. I'm a pistol shooter.
Yep.
He missed the first pistol shot.
Oh no.
And I think it threw him off his game because he didn't do so well on the rifle, poor bloke. But it was amazing when you don't put any pressure on with it.
It wasn't scored or anything. But
people lapse a little bit, and he shot safely. There's no question about that. But he's just it was a big target as well. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was relatively generous.
I couldn't tell you if I hit it or miss it. I shot and then just put the gun down, and it was no focus on doing it safely, and then just went out.
Yeah, that's it.
I guess I hit one, missed one, but Josh probably filmed it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I filmed something.
Yeah, that was the last stage. That was the last stage of the day, and I was the last shooter.
Ah, nice.
Actually, for us, and that was the stage that I think allowed me to beat Ben from that stage. Nice. I performed anyway. So there was a bit of pressure on that one, but we got there.
Yeah, just a little flex there.
Just a little plushie. Oh, not quite plushie's level, but just little.
How many rounds have you shot this year?
About 6.
Mags.
About 6 mags. That's about it. Yeah, definitely not pushing his level of quantity of rounds, but
that's it.
That's all right. Good.
So, yeah.
Very good. Nice, mate. And what is on the cards next? What's in the future to shoot? You're shooting in a couple of weeks?
Couple of weeks. I think we've got a relatively big weekend.
Okay.
I hear there's a match up in Loxton.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep. I think there are a couple of lads heading up there. I can't make it myself. Okay. But we've got a rimfire match, centerfire match on the Saturday and Sunday at our club, as well as a girls with guns, girls come and try shoot day. So that's going to be a pretty busy weekend.
Absolutely, yeah.
Helping out with that and
sweet. That was. I remember that last year was a huge weekend. We had some amazing amount of shooters, and they really enjoyed it. It was good. So ladies, if you wish to get out behind a gun, hit up the club, Precision Shooting Club at Monado, and book in. I'm pretty sure it's free.
Yeah, free to enter.
Free to enter. Okay, cool.
I think there's a barbecue and lunch sort of thing put on.
The whole deal.
Yeah, gone all out.
Very good. And is it rimfire on the Saturday or the Sunday?
I think it's rimfire Saturday. Don't quote me on that one. But
I won't. But
it's all on the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's because I wanted to shoot the rimfire one, but
yeah, me too. I sort of want to step up my rimfire game a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a little bit, just so I can
smash
you guys.
So you can perform.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, you
maybe we could actually get like a rimfire match together where we shoot together.
Get out!
How crazy is that?
No, that's just ridiculous. You're talking wild stuff. Maybe December.
Yep. Maybe.
Let's confirm we're going to be able to make it before we start. Are we in like a 3-way bet? Are we going to have Josh involved?
Ooh.
Surely I get some nice handicap for that.
Yeah.
No.
You get like the overheating camera handicap.
Cool.
Yeah, whatever that means.
I'll take it.
What about if you don't have to film it?
But then don't we need video proof of the whole thing?
Yeah, we've got other help that might be able to get involved.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you could always strap on one of those 360 cameras. See how you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely need to.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about it. Just let it roll all day, get all the angles.
Yeah.
Right. Well, after you speak about strapping on a 360 camera and getting all the angles, I think we might finish that up. So thanks for visually watching and listening, and I hope that was an audio pleasure for your eyes.
Thanks for listening to the Precision Shooting Podcast. To continue the discussion, check out our Facebook page. And for more information, head to our website, www.precisionshootingpodcast.com.au. This episode was brought to you by Impact Dynamics.